It's the Legacy United Thundertron! Yeah, Thundertron! Well, we're gonna beat up people. Thundertron sounds like an event for a wrestling show. This is Thundertron. Now, it has been a while since I watched Prime, so I have vague recollections of this guy, but this is the new Legacy United Thundertron, who's a bit of a pirate. Arrgh. Now I'm going to break him out of his box. I'm going to go through him bit by bit and see if this is something that's good for your collection. Be right back. All right, like I said, I have vague recollections of this guy, but you can see it's a nice package. He's got a nice picture on the front of him in his lion mode, you lion son of a bitch. Pictures on the side of him in his robot mode with a sword. He's got the nice 40th anniversary symbol here and all the wonderful United characters. And on the back you can see, of course, him in his 2 modes. And apparently it's 24 steps, so twice as much as a 12-step program, just so you know. All right, I'm gonna break him out. I do have my handy knife. I did not take him out previously, so hopefully I can figure him out without too much of an issue. I mean, masterpiece stuff, I'm gonna pre-transform and make sure I got it down before the video, and you know, some third-party stuff and some of the more complex, but this, hopefully I'll be able to figure it out. Though, of course, you know, you never know. Ooh, sliding out the bottom. Shitty piece of paper. I think someone thought I threw out the instructions when I threw that out. I was like, no, that's just telling you if you're way too young, you should not be playing with this because you could swallow something. But we have instructions, of course. We have a box, and we have him here in his cardboard and plastic prison. So I guess we're definitely not doing the whole plastic-free packaging thing again. And he's got his sword on the side here. It's not wrapped in some kind of mystery tissue paper this time. So we're gonna snip him out, make a mess on the table. And this guy's got a tail. Maybe he's got a tail to tell. We will see. Man, they strapped you in here like Hannibal Lecter. You that dangerous? All right, after much snipping, there is Thundertron. Yeah, come on down to the Thundertron event. You're gonna see monster trucks. Again, his name sounds like an event. So I'm gonna have to alternate between sounding like a crazy announcer for a wrestling show or a monster truck rally and sounding like a pirate. So deal with it. So all right, here is Thundertron in all his glory. You can see on the back, he's got a Decepticon symbol with crossed swords. Speaking of swords, we'll put the sword in his hand, which has a nice knuckle guard. I'm not sure what the technical name is. I am not a swordsmaster. I do know one. His name is Cooper Andrews, and he knows a lot about swords. All right, let's get him in the proper framing and take a look at this guy. Now, I'm not talking like that. I don't make sense sometimes, so don't worry about it. But there he is. He is a nice-looking figure. So you can see he's got his sword. He's got these really big shoulder pads. He's got a tail. Yes, a tail. He's got, like, a lot of the cats. He's got the cat on his chest. Though not all cats, because Lyle Convoy's got it on his fucking shoulder for whatever reason. He's got facial hair, which I never understood why some Transformers had facial hair and some didn't, and why Alpha Trion seemed to grow. But blimey, mate, with that kind of facial hair, he's got to be pretty old of a Transformer. And again, he's a bad guy. He's a Decepticon. But he's very cool. He doesn't have a ton of kibble on the back, but I'm not sure what this butt cover is, you know. I understand not wanting to get stabbed in the back as a pirate, but getting stabbed in the butt, whew, that's more of a prison thing. And yes, he's got this tail that hangs down. I'm gonna call it a tail. I can't push it forward to make it look like anything else. So that's a good thing. Now that we've taken a look at him in all his sides and glory, and he's even got these like claw things on his hands that can really do some damage. Let's take a look at the posability. So, we're gonna take the sword away from you because it's not that I don't trust you, it's just I don't trust you. All right, so starting at the feetsies, I'm trying to see if he's got some kind of ankle swivel, ankle tilt, and he kind of does on one foot, but on the other one, it does not seem to want to. Whoa, I took the foot off. Well, because he's got a peg under there. So he's got 2 feet at the moment, but apparently he also has a peg leg. So no ankle swivel really on the right foot, but a little bit of one on the left. So I don't know what the point of having it on one foot and not the other is, but that is the case. I'm gonna look at the instructions because he has a peg leg. I wanna see if there's something special to do. So apparently, it's a fake foot. You take it off and he can still stand with his peg leg. And then you can take the foot and attach it to the sword. What's that about? And you can move the toes back and now he's got a more dangerous sword, I guess. I still don't trust you with it, so we're gonna take that off. And apparently before you transform him, you put the foot back on, so I can't just leave it on here. But it's interesting that you have foot storage for when he is in peg leg mode. He's got a peg leg mode. All right, but before we get into the transformation, let's again check out his posability. Now he's got these things on the side, like thigh guards. So let's see if he can do the full Jean-Claude Van Damme. And it looks like just about. Now this thing on his back really keeps him like way up in the air. So he can't really, well, the heels kind of allow him. So he does a Jean-Claude Van Damme, but with back support for some reason. But he stays like that, so that's kind of impressive. Now he can kick forward. It's not an ultra high kick, and he can somewhat kick backwards, but he's got to kind of do it off to the side. And he can do a side kick, so that's nice. And his feet, by the way, have joints in them, so you can move them forward and back. But I imagine that's also part of his lion mode. You lion bastard. I'll probably keep saying that. Just warning you now. As far as twisting at the waist, let's see. He's got a little bit of a twist in here, but unless you like can move this out of the way, he can't twist much. So a little bit of twisting makes for a little bit of a dynamic pose, you know, more subtle. His arms, well, they look like they could go all the way around, but these shoulder pads are in the way. So normally they could go all the way around. They can go out to the side. He can bend at the elbow and a little stiff, but he's got a swivel, so he can move that around in various ways. So arms pretty good, but the shoulder pads definitely limit his mobility. The head, it turns, but not all the way around. Not where his head is now, because his beard and face kind of run into his shoulders here. Well, this part, you know, so kind of his shoulders, part of his shoulders. But yeah, I mean, I do have to say, as a pirate who could be concerned with betrayal or could be attacking ships and not being able to see over your shoulder could be an issue. He still looks like, you know, pretty cool, mean mofo, but there he is in his robot mode. All kinds of posability, and he's even got a peg leg to stand on, but you can still put him in some dynamic poses for. I am not sure if I'm going to display him with or without his foot, or if I'm going to put the foot on the sword. So, not a ton of kibble on the back. I like him. It's pretty cool, and it looks like I've already spotted where I suspect there is weapon storage in his other mode. But time for the transformation. I am transform. Oh, that's something different. All right, I'm going to transform him now. Oh, before I do that, I just want to show he does bend at the knee. I don't know how I missed that. How did I miss that? He bends at the knee. He's got a swivel there. So I think after recently doing a review on Soundwave and Blaster, who their knees don't quite work, I forgot about the knee. Sorry about that. But he's got the knee and he's got this groove that's going to cause some problems. But all right, transforming. So there is Thundertron in his lion mode. Gotta say, it was a weirder transformation than I thought it would be. But he looks pretty cool as a lion. You can see he's got a weird gap here. He's a mechanical lion, so, you know, he doesn't have to be Beast Wars style accurate. But he seems pretty cool. And as he is a beast, he is somewhat posable. You can move the front paws back and forth. They're kind of locked in here. But you can bend here and you can move the front paws to slice into somebody, I guess, you know, because that's what they sometimes do. The jaw opens pretty wide and, of course, can close. The back legs actually have a lot of movement to them, but I don't know how much you want to use because then he stops looking exactly like a lion. So the feet move and the tail actually can come forward and go back. So you got some movement there. He's not a bad looking lion. I think I have him totally transformed correctly. If I don't, I'm sure you're gonna let me know. The sword, as I suspected, plugs in on the back here. So you have weapon storage. He's a little lopsided. Be kind of cool if he had two swords. That way they'd have two slots and all that stuff. But I guess then you'd have to take off the other foot and I don't think he could stand on 2 pegs. But still, an extra sword would have been nice. So he's not superposable in this mode, but most beasts aren't. And he's got a bit, and he looks pretty cool. Now, lion mode, from heel to toe, he's about 6 inches or so, or heel to nose. The nose actually puts him slightly over 6 inches in length. And he's not a bad transformer. He's got some interesting things where you have to twist this and then twist this back. So he actually has 2 swivels in his legs, which is interesting. And his shoulder pads pretty much conceal his entire front paws on his shoulders, so you're not using the arms for that, which is kind of a nice thing. Now, I did forget to measure him in robot mode, so I popped him back into that. And he's actually about a hair over 7 inches, so good size. Again, you have the gimmick where you can pop off his right foot and give him his most unfortunate peg leg situation. Now, what I'm noticing, the fists can also turn, but it's kind of awkward to do that because of these covers. So you can turn them a little bit, it's there, but not tremendously useful. Unless you want to turn it to the side and have him hold his sword kind of sideways. It's hard to put the sword on when his fist is like that, so. But it is nice that with this foot that you have a place that you can store it when you want to have him be in his peg leg mode. So overall, he's a cool figure. He is Voyager class, so good size beast, and you know, you could put him up against Predacons, either Beast Wars ones or the G1 ones. You know, you might want to challenge Razor Claw. Yeah, cool figure. Again, I barely remember him, but what's neat about him is if you're designing scenarios, he would probably not be following Megatron's orders. He would be kind of on his own with his own agenda. I always like bots with their own agenda. And you know, it's not quite a tramp stamp, but he's got the Decepticon symbol on his ass. Interesting choice of placement. Nothing to indicate it from the front. So you really got to be looking at his ass in order to figure out what faction he's on. Of course, if he's trying to kill you, you can pretty much figure he's not a good guy. But all right, Thundertron is here, yeah! So I will put links to this guy. I think he's still available at retail. I don't know how popular he is. Again, vague recollections of him from Prime, but he's still a cool figure, and you might want to add him to your collection. And I really hope that you're enjoying these videos as much as I enjoy discovering new transformation techniques and wondering if I did it wrong. Well, I don't enjoy that part, but I do enjoy playing with my Transformers. And anyone who says otherwise, I'm just a adult collector. Yeah, they're full of shit. We all love playing with Transformers. So I hope you're having fun watching, as I'm having fun playing. And while you're mulling over getting this guy, why don't you check out some other Lion characters we got over here. We have the original Lio Convoy versus the Legacy Lio Convoy, so check that out. And we will see you next time. As always, have fun and good hunting, like a lion or a pirate.